Remember at the end of X-Men Days of Future Past, where we saw that blue-skinned kid building the pyramids with his mind? Well, now, 5,000 years later, he's all grown up and he's pissed. That's basically the setup for X-Men Apocalypse, in which our heroes come face to face with the iconic comic book villain whose name is in the title, the first and most powerful mutant. Apparently, Apocalypse, played by Oscar Isaac, has been asleep for thousands of years. He wakes up and doesn't like what he sees, so he recruits a team of powerful mutants to cleanse civilization and create a new world. Obviously, that's not going to sit well with Professor X and his team of young X-Men, who are pretty much humankind's only hope at this point. And while the motivation of saving the world is probably enough, there are personal stakes as well. Apocalypse recruits his henchmen from characters with ties to the X-Men: Magneto, Storm, Angel, and Psylocke. Casting characters new to the X-Men movie scene this time around are Alexandra Shipp, who plays young Storm; Sophie Turner, Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones, is the new Jean Grey; Ty Sheridan is Cyclops; Olivia Munn plays Psylocke; Cody Smith-McPhee is Nightcrawler; and Ben Hardy plays Angel. Now, in case you missed it, Apocalypse is the third film in the revised timeline X-Men Trilogy, preceded by X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men First Class. Filmmaker Bryan Singer calls these movies in-between-quels that play with time's immutability while implying that anything can happen. So what he means is, after Days of Future Past, the events of the original X trilogy have been erased, but by the same token, destinies are eventually fulfilled. That's Singer's way of saying that the new future that Wolverine saw at the end of Days of Future Past is probably where these characters are going to end up, but he reserves the right to totally mess with whatever he wants, so no one is safe. Finally, if you're looking for comic book source material, the movie is partially inspired by Terry Kavanagh and Adam Polina's 1996 Marvel Comics miniseries, Rise of Apocalypse, which tells Apocalypse's origin story. The character first appeared in 1986's X Factor Volume 1, from which Singer also cribs a little of this story, the origin of Archangel in particular, so you'll want to check that out too. And that's your crash course on X-Men Apocalypse.